Hi guys, and happy Halloween! Welcome to Hearthstone's 2017 Halloween Cup, where we have our first semi-finalists. We have Juka93 on top and ALMAO on the bottom. Juka with Priest, Druid, and Rogue, and ILMAO also with Priest, Druid, and Rogue. For Juka, Druid was banned, and for ALMAO, his rogue was banned.
Good evening, everyone, and happy Halloween once again. And yeah, nothing that like strange. They both playing the strongest top one tier decks, and only the band differs. The Juka got his druid banned, as you said earlier, and also the ALMO got his rogue. So
yeah, quite different choices from both players, but still very viable bans because both of the decks are really strong in this meta. And as we can see from LMAO, I'm just gonna call him LMAO, it's a lot easier. We have the Golakka Crawler in hand, which means that some of the pirates will be eaten. Also, Spirit Lash and Potion of Madness, quite some anti-aggro tools versus Juka's Rogue.
Yeah, and for some of you who may follow the Juka earlier through the series, we know how aggressive player he is, and sometimes he runs these aggro matchups that tend to overrun the opponents and play on that efficient card trading and card buffing synergies, and he finds his victories fast with that, and we will see if that is the case in this situation.
That is true. Also, a 4/4 captain, quite a nightmare for the priest after Golakka was spent.
Yeah, and also we don't see any copy of Dragonfire in ALMAO hand, but also we don't see any dragons in Juka's hand.
Yep, there's a Fellbloom as a choice, and also some armor or even card draw that could be immensely important for the priest. We are yet to see what LMAO picks, and it's 4 damage to all minions and 7 armor, so
Quite
valuing
nice
health, yes. Because, well, rogues decks tend to be really aggressive, and he's gonna need some extra armor there.
That is true.
And also he has the card draw in his hand, so he wasn't going for the two card draw, which is completely justified when we look at his hand.
Also we see Shadow Reaper Endo in his hand, which is one of the 2 most important cards in this deck, because the whole combo revolves around picking up Raza and Anduin early in the game. So we see like half of the job is already done, and can he manage to do another half?
Yeah.
Also a board clear for the priest here.
Yeah, and some armor being gained also. I mean, quite good for the priest, but Juka still has some stuff to play, and he's gonna be going for the bigger version of Edwin, not the 4/4. Obviously, playing around Dragonfire and playing really well. We don't see the Dragonfire in hand, but we do see the Shadow Word Death and Cabal Songstealer that we'll see play now.
Cabal Songstealer, not the choice of many. Many choose to bring Silence instead of Cabal Songstealer.
Songstealer, yes.
Sorry. But this way you have a minion when you silence someone, so it's a bit more anti-aggro oriented.
This was quite dangerous, and the risk he took by not Shadow Deathing the Edwin, he allowed it to be Shadow Stepped in case Juka actually top decked the Shadow Step, which he did.
And in this situation, Juka is all in, and we see that Priest can coin out the Shadow Reaper Anduin and completely clear the board.
Yeah.
This is a tough spot for Juka.
It is. Well, I mean, quite expected since you have a lot of big minions on board. Juka probably wasn't playing around
and
it,
and see a quick concede.
He probably recognizes it. Yeah. And 1-0 for ALMAO. Congrats. And we are yet to see Juka's Rogue or Priest trying to find a win versus LMAO's Druid. Where, on the other hand, Juka's own Druid was banned, so he's not going to be able to play the mirror match. So yeah, we're just gonna see another exciting deck. Also, I'm really glad to see the Halloween tournament being organized. And
sorry guys, we're being disconnected by Blizzard, so we'll have just to quickly reconnect.
No worries. I think we're
Yeah.
just gonna enter the first turn that they are playing. It's all good, and as we see, the LMAO's Druid is being played versus Juka's Rogue. He's going to try once again to find the win with his Rogue.
The rogues are really powerful, but once you manage to pick up all the answers needed for the first few turns, they can run out of steam, and that's exactly what happened last game. And hopefully that will not happen this game, because we want to see the most possible matches in the Hearthstone. So hopefully they will go 1-1, and then some of them will win eventually, and we will have a good long Hearthstone show to enjoy.
As we always want. So if you ever hear us cheering for someone, we're only cheering for the complete reverse sweep, so we can see more games of some amazing Hearthstone that we see here today. And we see LMAO's presence on the board with his early Jade Idol, something to contest the board, Juka choosing not to expand with the Pirate or with the Coin, playing around the Galaka Crawler, and here we're just gonna see the Shapeshift. And Juka having a choice whether he wants to play the Pirate, whether he wants to coin something out.
I think the Coin is what we're gonna see now.
Maybe even Dagger, you know,
Yeah.
maybe he just decides to take it slow and not to let this this Jade threaten his early minions.
That is also true.
Coin is actually a really good option, and as we can see, Juka has a lot of combo pieces in hand. Also with Shadow Step, he will be able to combine his SI agent if he chooses to play it.
Is there a punish if he doesn't trade in this situation?
There might be with the Mark of Lotus that we see in his hand. He was playing around it a little bit, but if he wasn't, he would be able to trade completely into the patches, and I assume that some of the newer Druid versions do run Mark of the Lotus, so you always want to get that efficient trade before it happens that he just...
Also, we see that Cold Blood being played on patches, and Juka is saying you either expand the swipe on this board,
or have a crab.
Yeah, or have a crab, or you have to take a 10 damage from these patches.
Yeah.
I won't settle for less, because he just saw red, and another red being
one.
top decked. This is huge.
It is, and instead of face tanking the 5 damage, he draws a card and is able to remove all the pirates from the board.
So
Quite
the board is
unfortunate.
cleared.
Yeah.
Nice top decks for a LMAO. His RNG today is at check.
Yeah.
Also, a Dark Reaper being picked up, not a clear way for a Druid to clear this board, but he's not pressured that much, and then the Druids can do what they do best, like ramp, Jades, or mana, or both,
Yeah.
and just they tend to overrun people with drawing a lot of cards, playing a lot of minions, and all that
True.
in a single turn.
If you're ramping at least one of them, either your mana or your Jades, you're doing something right with
Yeah.
Druid.
And you're having a good turn, and when you're ramping both of them, then your turn is absolutely good.
That is true. Here we might even, this ramp might change his plans, but I think he was going for the Jade Spirit and maybe Mark of the Lotus, so he contests
We
the
might
board
see
better.
a card draw, because he doesn't have really a lot of card draw in hand.
I
Also
would
goes for
think for the
crystals.
board. Yeah, the board I think is pretty nice. With Kuhn, he's able to play Ultimate Infestation if he top decks it next turn. Also another Innervate, lots of card draw being available, and I think he's gonna want to be at 10 mana while Rogue is at 6, and he knows that the only cards being available for play are the Scale Banes, Bone Mares, and those kinds of minions. But we also see Spreading Plague and Mark of the Lotus in hand, which is gonna make it really awkward for this Rogue to
Scale
trade
Bane
into.
landing on a minion. This board grows.
Oh, this is huge.
This is a huge turn, yeah. He will take that tempo free 7/7 minion and also he will get a chance to play a 5/5 minion and remove two of Juka's minions. So this is the turn where Druid really excels to the best of the.
Yeah, and
the
we see a
civil-
lot of friendly BM happening, and Juka probably not counting on the ultimate infestation top deck from LMAO,
Yeah.
and a bone mare happening, and I really wonder if we're gonna see a trade there. I don't think there are many good options that he will want to play around. Druid can trade, but not a lot of magical options for the board to actually disappear. And well, instead of like swipe into the 9/9 and then going for the ravaging for the infested ghoul,
And a
which
top
can
deck
trade.
Malfurion.
Ouch! Today, LMAO is top decking like
He's
crazy.
on fire, yes.
Yeah. A lot of cards being pulled exactly at the right moment. So we see the rogue with 4 cards in hand. Not a lot of steam, but there is a spellbreaker for this Aya. But I wonder how
So
much good it's gonna do.
Important to mention is when the Malfurion is being played, the game goes like drastically in
Yeah.
favor of Druid. And that's it, a quick 2-0 for ALMO. Congratulations on placing himself into finals.
Yeah, congratulations also to
don't-
Zuka.
Yeah.
Yeah, great plays.
Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with as soon as our finalists are ready.
Yeah, and we will see you guys very soon. So stay tuned and wait for our finals. We will not take long. So let's stay together and enjoy some good Hearthstone. Be right back. Hi guys, and welcome back. This is our finals match for the Hearthstone Halloween Cup 2017, and on the top we have LMAO, who you've just seen in the semifinals with his priest, druid, shaman, and rogue. His priest was banned, and on the bottom we see Palucha with his warlock, shaman, druid, and warrior, where his warlock was banned. And the first game is versus Palucha's shaman and LMAO's rogue.
Yeah, and also once again we see quite a typical decks for this meta: a tempo rogue versus a token / evolve shaman. Where shamans tend to have a little bit favorable matchup, but not most of the time, but many times rogue can just overpower them by the value gained from the prince.
That is true, and here we see quite a strong captain. We actually have not seen many strong princes in these semifinals and finals. It's just been typical rogue minions with their usual buffs like Cold Blood, like South Sea Captain.
Yeah, typical standard semi-good RNG, not something crazy, not something bad. Also, not to forget, LMAO had a little bit of favored top decks last game, but that's all the Hearthstone game is about, having a nice draw and having a nice tactic. So
Yeah.
the person with more luck and knowledge and skill wins.
Yeah, and here we see Palucha committing a lot to actually kill the South Sea Captain, and a little bit of a late double Calisat with the Shadow Step.
I mean, it's turn 3, usually it goes on turn 2, so when it's double, I say it's worth it. Definitely a strong pickup, a strong turn. The bad thing is that it is usually a weak turn when you play Prince, because you commit 2 mana to only 2/2.
That is true. It is a bit of a tempo killer, but rogues tend to hope that it will always pay off for them. So that's what LMAO is also hoping for, and now we see their stronger minions, buffed minions coming to the hand, and a 3/7 Dark Reaper, not to be underestimated.
Usually when I play rogue and when I have double or triple prince, I always get the spells next turn, but
Yeah.
this guy knows how to draw.
Yeah, and also we see a Thrall Deathseer, quite a strong top deck. Imagine this whole board being evolved next turn.
Yeah, and we might even see a devolve here, because this 5/7 is choking the shaman. He cannot find any trades with this board state, so we might even see a quick devolve here.
Yeah. I mean, Shaman really wants to trade with that taunt. It is the strongest minion he possesses on board right now, and this board is considerably smaller now. And
it is definitely. Maelstrom would be absolute killer here, but we see Palucha going for as many minions as he can, because he knows that the rogue doesn't really have any punish for wide boards. Especially not tempo rogue.
Ouch!
But this will surprise him definitely.
This is gonna hurt if he actually gains a lot of tempo from it. 3. Actually, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, the Dark Fisher.
Yeah, that is not something LMAO wanted to see. I think his bad RNG is kind of coming back, because he just drew a shaman a card, and also a doppelgangster with evolve will be able to punish this a little bit, because if he doesn't kill that Dark Fisher, the board is gonna.
Yeah. Also, he can find quite a few nice trades, and then evolve board. And kind of like he wants to leave that Fisher, right?
He does. And LMAO is now actually forced to trade his Dark Fisher into some of the minions he doesn't really have good trades with, just so Palucha doesn't draw another card from it, which really feels bad if he goes for it.
Also, I don't think a rogue can that easily deal with a huge board like this, especially with the 2 taunts that prevents the trade lines from happening. and we see a Bloodlust in hand, and that's gonna be lethal.
It's a really fast GG, and basically thanks to both the Darkfisher and a really strong tempo and evolve, it's gonna be a GG and a 1-0 for Palucha with his Shaman. So his Shaman got a win, and we're still waiting for the win with or a lose with his Druid or with his Warrior, and we are yet to see a win from LMAO's Druid, Shaman, or his Rogue. So now we are waiting for our finalists to pick their decks. Also, really important phase of the game, them kind of counter picking, and yeah, it's always exciting when you are kind of in the stage where you're kind of waiting for them to just pick a deck and just counter each other. It's always nice to see what they're picking. So here we see Palucha picking his Druid, and from his hand we can see that it's Aggro Beast Druid with some Beast elements, and we see a LMAO trying again with his Tempo Rogue.
We don't see rogues being that successful today. We saw Juka losing quickly 2-0 with his rogue, and now we are seeing a third rogue loss in a row. What happened to the rogue? Did people just decked against the rogue? Are they like fed up and tired of losing to this tempo class? What are your thoughts about that?
Maybe. Well, actually, my thoughts about rogue. It's just that Rogue, in particular this Tempo Rogue, isn't really that strong of a deck. It's just that the other decks from the meta right now aren't very strong either. There is no such thing as an overpowered deck. Some people would say that it's a Razaka's Priest, but also rogues are attacking really heavily, so they can win that matchup, and some rogues have a really good matchup versus them. So as someone who's played a lot of games with the rogue, it's nothing special. It has tempo, but the deck also has some serious flaws, and I think if the other decks were a bit better, Rogue wouldn't be able to come out on top of them.
I agree completely, and we see nothing that obvious on curve, but using that coin to fill out the turn with the shapeshifter, I guess we'll see.
Shellshifter, yeah.
Shellshifter, sorry. We will see a taunt being played here just to place some durable minion, which Rogue will have to struggle with.
And South Sea Plus, the SI actually deals with the Shellshifter and leaves the captain untouched.
Yes, and this is already big for Rogue. Like,
this is also big.
Deck,
Speaking of which, and plus Mark of Yashar actually allowing him to draw a card if he wants to next turn.
It's a beast.
Yeah. This turn, I'm sorry. Basically, it draws a card, and a 5/6 for 4 mana is not something Rogue has an easy time dealing with. Maybe we even see Cold Blood.
Yeah, if this crab doesn't get removed soon, he might face a Menagerie Warden, and
I think he goes for the Cold Blood.
He can double that crab, but I guess yes, as you said. But maybe he decides to go face because he has a taunt. Maybe not. We will see.
I don't think he's gonna like that crab one bit.
Yeah, but we see that he decides to go face here to pressure up a little bit, hide behind the taunt, and hopefully manage to land that Bone Mares on something and finish the game before he runs out of steam.
But here, Patches or even a Hero Power plus the Fledgling will deal with the board and leave 2 beasts that he needs to trade into.
Also, Patches Savage Roar is something that clears board completely.
Yeah, quite strong.
Not completely, because he's one mana off for playing a hero power after Savage Roar, and he chooses to preserve Savage Roars.
Yeah, and Fledgling is something we might see just so it represents a soft taunt basically, so the 7/3 actually doesn't choose to go face and trades into the minions. We are yet to see what LMAO chooses to do in this position.
Palucha emoting a mistake.
Yeah.
What do you think he thinks by doing that?
I'm not really sure. Maybe he's basically baiting him into going face so he can play the Menagerie Warden on some of his beasts. Maybe he's even I don't know, he's even trying to say, something like, well played, I can copy my beast next turn. And LMAO not going for that kind of bait, and I think we're gonna see that 5/5 crab turning into another one. And
yeah, that is true. And also he managed to squeeze 14 damage with this SI, so I think the tempo was good. Choosing to go for a 3/5 minion over a 5/5 just to keep that value. But I'm not sure if now it's the time to play a value game here. I know he's running out of steam, but he's also losing a tempo on board. And once you lose it with the rogue, there is not that many comebacks in game.
That is true. I mean, now from what we can see, basically this druid is not running out of steam. He has Savage Roar, which can slowly, but very convincingly turn into a lot of damage next turn. Not many things to play, but he has the board, and all a LMAO has in hand is Bone Mare that is desperately trying to find a target to land on.
I think that is not the card, and with a double Savage Roar,
we're gonna see a really fast GG here.
And Palucha finding that 2-0 quickly with a double Savage Roar.
Yeah. I wonder if we're gonna see a reverse sweep in these finals as well.
Yes, I would like to see that, just to keep on the tradition flowing.
Yeah, so a very fast 2-0 for Palucha, and let's see if this is gonna be a sweep or a reverse sweep, or just very long series of Hearthstone where the winner is not known until the end. So basically,
the best Hearthstone there is.
The best, that is true. And Palucha left to get a win with his warrior versus a LMAO's druid, shaman, or rogue. His priest showing quite some dominance in the last series and getting banned this finals. What do you think about that?
I'm not sure, but I'm interested more in a warrior. What do you think? Will it be like a pirate warrior or control warrior?
I think it will be a pirate warrior. I'm still not sure. We're yet to see the mulligan, but from his lineup, pirate warrior would make sense. He's running quite an aggressive lineup. Maybe the warlock was Zoo. We won't find out because it was banned. But shaman, evolved shaman, aggro druid, and the pirate warrior.
And we see a pirate warrior with a copy of Mortal Strike. Not something you see that often, but sometimes people choose to play it just to skip over the taunt and deal that like final piece of damage, or to remove something nasty.
Patches in hand, you don't really want to see that as a pirate warrior. That captain would have been really happy if he was able to pull out that patches. But now, since he didn't draw the prince, all we're gonna see is hero power, assuming he does run the prince. Since most of the warriors now, instead of the fiery war axe's turn 2, which is not a turn 2 anymore, now tend to run the prince.
Yeah, the curve for a warrior when he goes first is really weak because he cannot like skip that turn 2, and he has many 3-drops in a deck, and as we can see, 4 3-drops in a hand for Palucha, and nothing he can play, he just taps, and you don't want to do that with a tempo deck like this.
Yeah, so we might just see a frothing berserker. It seems to be the most stable out of all his minions, and he definitely wants the Bloodsail Cultist with the battle cry because he's not finding those combo pieces that he really wants to. On the other hand, LMAO's hand full of combos, and also we see the Prince Valinar, if I'm not mistaken, just being pulled out. It's a taunt with a lifesteal that will really help out this rogue regain some health. Also, a really dangerous thing, a Prince Valinar with the Cold Blood versus the Pirate Warrior, healing for so much.
I'm not sure if he will need that much heal because his board state is kind of fine, and Pirate Warrior is not really able to pressure face. If he's behind on the board, he kind of needs to claw back into the game and then start to kick some face damage, but I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah. Also, we see the Spellbreaker being pulled. So whatever he's gonna do with Prince Valinar, if he does it, will be silenced, I think, pretty soon.
Yes. Also, I think the Pirate Warrior is really a deck that relies heavily on weapon synergies, and we don't see any weapons being picked up for Palucha, so that means that this draw is not something you can hope for every game.
We're gonna see that Spellbreaker right now, or not, or just a South Sea into the Valinor. Also nice play, staying on curve. I don't know, what would you prefer seeing? This is also really strong.
Yeah, I think I prefer this because I value more like having one more minion and my opponent having one less, and giving him 3 health in return.
True. Well, I guess there are some valuable targets in a rogue that you also want to silence.
Yeah,
also, Spellbreaker having 3 health is a consideration, but on the other hand, the minions that Warrior has are kind of similar to each other, so not much difference.
He managed to find that value trade with Patches. Do you prefer trading with Patches here or with 1-2, because you can kind of buff Patches with Captain that is in hand already?
I think versus a Pirate Warrior, it doesn't really make that much difference. I think he really wants to just have minions that have more health. It is not affected by, for example, upgrade if he plays it instead of a weapon, or with any sort of minion that deals 1 damage. Here we see Fire War Axe and also Spellbreaker. We might just see Spellbreaker now into the Tar Creeper, so the captain can actually trade into the 7-3.
Yeah, I think we will see that, and again, ALMAO decides to go face with 7-3 SI Agent like he did 2 times in the last game. But this time he has actually a board to support that face aggression, and also many possibilities to remove all of his opponent's board and also strengthen his positions.
Even trading with his dagger, also something to point out.
Yeah.
Quite courageous versus a Pirate Warrior, but he has so much tempo that I don't think he's even gonna be worried about that too much.
I don't see what a Pirate Warrior can do here to get out of this position.
Quite hard, possibly even trading into the captain and playing a Berserker just for the tempo, but not a lot of things he can do versus that Bone Mare that is gonna land and deal so much damage to that warrior. He's gonna leave him at 4 health if he goes face.
This Bone Mare hurts.
It does, and Rogue at 26 health, comfortably going face.
Says, I'm not afraid of your berserking trolls on the board. I'm gonna close this game before your troll starts to kick.
That is true. And here we see Dread Corsair, not enough though. So much damage. Not even that Leroy Jenkins into a buffed Berserker will help, and that's gonna be a GG. And beginning of the reverse sweep for ALMAO. 1-2 for ALMAO, or 2-1 for Palucha. So we are yet to see some games of Hearthstone. Palucha trying to find some wins with his warrior, and we just saw LMAO's rogue getting a win. So what is left for LMAO to do is to win with either his druid or his shaman versus a pirate warrior. So a pirate warrior needs to pull through all of those to actually get a win.
I think the druid is definitely a weak spot for ALMAO in this matchup, because shaman kind of always finds a way to heal a little bit, play a little bit of taunts, trade a little bit, and kind of outgrind the pirate warrior. But the Jade Druid is something that might struggle with the pirate warrior. So this is the Palucha, I think, best matchup by the numbers, but we often witness that numbers and statistics usually don't matter.
And if you want to see a really good game versus, like Druid versus the Pirate Warrior, specifically Jade Druid, I advise you to look at the last qualifiers that we had 2 days ago, where you're gonna see some incredible turns
by
from
both players. I would say they both draw everything they need, and I won't spoil it for you, but it was definitely a game worth watching. So
it was an amazing game.
Yeah,
really.
If you want to find it, go back to our Sunday stream and check it out. It's really a masterful masterpiece.
Masterful masterpiece.
Yeah, of course, of Hearthstone. Ooh. And he's coining out the Frotting Berserker here.
Quite something.
And as we said, like Warriors always struggle to find that turn 3.
I mean, with
Turn two, sorry.
Fiery War Axe, I think he kind of had a read that that he was gonna play some sort of ramp that he wanted to trade into. With that Fiery War Axe and a Berserker growing on board, he's able to control both the face and the board with the growing damage from the Berserker.
That's true. Druid decides to continue with ramp, choosing to ignore this Berserker for now. And we see Mark of Lotus being played just to put as much tempo as he can on the board, but we see how well this deck excels with pirates and everything. He can play 4 cards in this turn, and that's really something that this deck can do to you and overrun you.
This
deal
is so scary.
A massive amount of damage. Yeah, and well played.
Yeah,
Gold already.
Yeah. LMAO recognizes Palucha's board that unless he draws something like Spreading Plague, he's not gonna be able to deal with. Jade Behemoth here in an attempt to deal with the board, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Also, Captain Greenskin being in hand and another Frothing Berserker there.
That's quick concede.
It is.
And that's a GG for Palucha. Congratulations to our winner.
Congrats. And
also, hello from us.
hello and happy Halloween again.
Halloween.
Also, congratulations to both our finalists. As you might know, our finalist Palucha right now just won a reward. It's an ESL premium account for 1 month that is going to allow him to play so many valuable and great tournaments on the ESL website.
Really nice opportunity, if I may say, to kind of see where you are in that big world of Hearthstone, challenge the pro players and get in touch with them, maybe learn some things, maybe they will learn
Definitely
some things from you. So nice prize there, and yeah, congratulations once more from me personally.
Yeah, from me also.
This was a nice event, and hopefully we will have many more like this, celebrating special dates and also playing on weekly and monthly basis.
That is true. Also, as you all might know, this event is not strictly related to our Autumn League qualifier. Our qualifiers are still taking place on Sundays at 4 p.m. each Sunday. We have only a few of the places left to qualify for the big finale, so take your place in the bracket, apply for the tournaments, and you might be here on Sunday or even next Sunday qualifying for that tournament and being able to win €50 plus some premium accounts for yourself where you're going to be able to play those tournaments as well. So I encourage you to play and to have fun, to add people as friends, talk to them, and just improve your overall gameplay in Hearthstone, which is what it's all about. Yeah.
Thanks everyone for being here, for watching, for participating, for making this great for us.
Thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow on our regular stream and on Sunday for those of you who are following the qualifiers.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.